Well, I'm back with our last tool for our Good Together marriage series, and today our tool goes along with our teaching on restoration. And restoration is about the hope that we hold, not only for our marriages, but for all of life. And part of the way we hold that hope is part of the way we hold hope is it's the way that we create meaning for our lives and for our marriages. So today, the tool that we're going to use is another one that the Gottmans, John and Julie Gottman, marriage researchers, have developed, and it's called Creating Shared Meaning and Purpose. So John and Julie Gottman are researchers who have spent decades studying marriage, and they've taught us what happy, successful couples have done to create shared meaning and purpose. And they've recognized that creating shared meaning and purpose is part of what makes couples happy and healthy. And this shared meaning and purpose means that couples are focusing on building both like an internal shared culture within their relationship. You know, culture can sometimes be a hard thing to talk about because it's often what we experience more than what we're always naming. And so we just want to name 4 components of what it means to have shared meaning and purpose. And on the worksheet, I'm just giving you some questions to help you identify things that you might like to build into your relationship. The first thing is rituals of connection. Now, we talked about bids for connection earlier, and bids for connection are those things that happen spontaneously in the moment within our relationship, where rituals of connection are actually structured routines that help us foster togetherness. They could be daily check-ins or holiday traditions or shared recreational activities. So this would be, some of the questions are, how do you want to celebrate holidays and birthdays? How do you want to start and end your day together? How do you want to catch up with one another? What's your communication rituals look like? How do you want to do that about maybe intimate or personal topics? And how do you want to do that about logistics? And then, what are your rituals around recreation? How do you want to go on vacation? How are you going to plan for play and rest within the daily rhythms of your relationship? So building rituals of connection is one part of building shared meaning and purpose. Another way that the Gottmans say that we build shared meaning and purpose is supporting each other's roles. So in order to support one another, we have to understand and appreciate all the roles that our partner is playing: provider, nurturer, planner, taxi driver for some of you, and how each of these roles contribute to the team that our marriage is. So we're just going to ask some questions about, what do you think is the role of a wife? What do you think is the role of a husband? What do you see as your role being in the partnership, and what do you see my role being? What do you think is the role of a mother or a father? And then maybe some specific questions about specific things in the relationship. Who's responsible for chores? Who's responsible for finances? Who's taking out the garbage? Who's buying gifts? All these things are just different things that we do within the relationship. And oftentimes, like we talked about all the way back in tool number 1, in building a culture in our family, we bring ideas from our family of origin into our marriage, and we think that's the way everybody did it. We think that's the normal way, or even the right way to do it, when many of these things don't have a clear right or wrong, definitely not a biblically clear right or wrong. And so we bring these ideas, and they're unnamed and unexamined because it's just what we grew up with. It's what our normal is. And so part of building shared meaning and purpose is examining those beliefs and then choosing to create a new culture in this new family that this marriage is. And I say that whether you have children or not. If you are a newlywed who don't have any children, you're husband and wife together, you're already a new family, and a new culture has to be created with the two of you even before you have children. So it's good to talk about these things. The next thing that helps us create shared meaning and purpose is to share goals and symbols. And that might seem like a weird thing, but I think it'll explain itself. So shared goals is just starting to align on like what are each one of our long-term dreams and hopes, aspirations. This might be creating a shared vision for the future, which could help each person navigate those challenges together. And then also, like we said, creating a shared purpose and vision for our marriage. Symbols are things like items or traditions or stories that have special meaning to you as a couple that reinforce your bond. This could be things you bring from your family that you want to bring into your new family. Something as simple as my husband's family makes monkey bread every Christmas morning. That's just a symbol of part of the celebration of Christmas for them. Or it could be things that you want to do in your new family, that you want to start a new tradition that's unique to your family. So we've given you some topics to discuss, like what are your philosophies about how these things should be managed, like love and trust, family, sex, money, education, power and individuality in marriage, religion and spirituality, child rearing, retirement. We just gave some topics to help you explore what are some of your goals in each one of those areas. How do you think about them for the future? How do you begin to merge what you think and what you plan that has maybe been very individual, and now you want to merge that as a couple? The last thing that helps us build shared meaning and purpose is honoring one another's dreams. We want to be active in our support of our partner's dreams and their values, even if we don't share them. And that might mean that having these shared dreams means we have to seek to find a way to honor our partner's dreams and goals, even if they don't at first seem compatible with ours. You know, if you're a beach person and I'm a mountain person and I only want to go to the mountains for vacation, you only want to go to the beach, we're going to have to talk about what that means about how we function. But if it's your dream to retire to the beach and it's my dream to retire to the mountains, we're going to have to spend a good bit of time bringing those dreams together to create a shared dream or a shared vision for what our relationship will look like in retirement. So we have some more questions just to prime the pump about financial goals, travel. Where do you see yourself vocationally over the next 5, 10, or 20 years? What hobbies would you like to pursue? What dreams do you have to develop you as a person that you would like, ways that you want to equip yourself? So as all of these worksheets are, they are just tools for you to begin to have conversations with your spouse. We know that making assumptions is not going to develop intimacy. And oftentimes when we make assumptions, we cause hurt and disappointment and discouragement in relationship. So we're hoping that these worksheets become tools for conversation so that some of these things that about dreams and goals and meaning and rituals, we begin to discuss, and we just don't assume that the other person thinks exactly the way that we do. I'm just going to close with saying one of the things that always makes me smile, I don't do a lot of premarital counseling, but I do a little bit. And one of the things that makes me smile every time is when a couple comes in and I say, so why do you want to get married? And they say, we're just alike. And I think I may have even shared this on a podcast. Like, we think alike about so many things, and we're so much alike in our personalities. And inside, I'm going, oh my, when is it going to hit? Like, when are they going to realize that actually they're really different people? And not only is that true, but it's okay and it's good. And God brought two very different people together. But it's going to take work and good communication for two very different people to be able to build something of meaning and value. And the way that we do that is to begin to examine some of what we believe about these things and to be able to talk about them together and to be able to build a unique family that has a God-given sense of meaning and purpose for this new family that God's created. I hope you've enjoyed these tools that we have done for each one of the episodes in our series on Good Together. It's been fun for me to do, and more than anything, I hope that they're helpful as you experience marriage together.